Welcome everyone to this tutorial on BuddyBot. He's your buddy. So this little episode we're going to show you how to use the BuddyBot. I did load in one of my early playthrough games, so I've got a lot of resources and things like that, but it's just to make these videos a little bit easier since sandbox mode isn't released yet. Throw a couple batteries in him. We're going to, just like the previous video, we're going to go in here and I'm just going to kind of run down through everything and show you how it works and what it does. So the first two, pretty self-explanatory. Turn on. As soon as he turns on, he follows you around. Turn off. Like I said, self-explanatory. Wrong one. Let's close those up. Actually, we're going to need those, so we'll just leave them there. So the first one is pick up item from pickup point. Now what this is in the crafting menu under robotics. You have these four things: BuddyBot, location marker, pickup point, and drop off point. Let me craft one of them real quick. You can find one of each of these scattered throughout the map. If you want a spoiler, if you don't, skip the next 5 or 10 seconds. If you do, BuddyBot's located over by the windmills. There's a free one over there. So from here, we got everything. I'm going to throw these down into my inventory. For the robot chassis, these come from if you read right there in the description, the enemy drone bots. It's the real small ones, kind of looks like a BuddyBot itself, but it's a little bit smaller. And if you leave it alone, it'll sit there and take pictures of you. If you smack it once, it'll retreat to its base. So we're going to need the marker, we're going to need the drop off and pick up right there and there. We have the BuddyBot on the floor. So pick up from pickup point is just what it says. Let's set them down here. So here's a pickup point, here's a drop off. We're going to turn it, and you see the arrows, which one they'll insert it into and which one is the exit drop off point, output. That's the word I was looking for. So if we put in here, let's turn that around and put it right here. So you can have the BuddyBot, and to program this, so this is kind of used in pairs. You can mix and match, but you have the pickup point and the drop off point. So these are functions. And if you hear that bot out there, I'm going to go get rid of him. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's, real quick, let me grab some water. So, that didn't work. There we go. So, the BuddyBot drop-off point and pickup point, drop-off point. So they don't have to be linked, because right here there's a link button. So you can say, we're going to link these two together. So you want to pick up from this pickup point. Now you see how now that's blue, highlighted blue. So you go there, and then same with the drop-off point. And we can come in here, and we can tell it to execute. Oh, you got to turn them on. So he'll come over here. There's nothing in there. So let's give him... we'll give him a battery. Pick up the battery, put it in the drop-off point. I'm going to throw just for good measure, we're going to throw a crate, or storage crate right there, if everything wants to fall off the shelf. So that's the drop-off points, pick-up points, and as you've seen, when you put things in here, it doesn't matter. You get a little icon down here. Shows you what's in there, what's stored down there, and you can use that to extract it. Because you don't have an actual, like this, you can open it. There's nothing like that. You can just eject it. So the next thing is this storage boxes. So you can, if you don't want to do a drop-off point, let's say you're just using him to collect resources for you, You can pick up from storage boxes and you can drop off to storage boxes. So we're going to do this one just to drop off. We're going to set that to that one. And then I'm going to tell it when he turns on, do that. So let's throw him in, a few of them. And then we're actually going to loop this. And all you do if you're going to loop it is just once you deliver the item, go back and pick up another. And we can go here and turn on. So you'll see he'll over there, drop it off. Go back and forth. So you can set this up so you're a miner, he can pick up from there and bring it back to your base. And then once there's nothing to pick up, he'll just stand there and wait. Same for if he's picking up from a storage box. He'll just sit there and wait. So if you run out of power on your miner, and so it's not producing anything, or your furnace or whatever he's picking up from, if you run out of resources, he'll stand there until his batteries die. So it might be a good idea to put in some kind of fail-safe to get him to shut down. I got one I set up. I'll show you here towards the end of the video. So the next thing on him is go-to marker. So the go-to marker is kind of this. Basically it's pathing. So I have a marker here. We're going to say, come over here to the corner. So let's grab those back, throw them back in here, and we're going to program him. Instead of going directly to the storage box, go to the marker, then the storage box. Or once you get there, go to the storage box. So you can change that to all kinds of things. Like instead of going to a marker, you can say, I have another example, but you can say go to this point, do something else. Whatever, wait and before you come back, or I got a couple examples I'll show you. I just wanted to kind of show you some of the basics here. And so let's get in here and turn him on. Now you'll see instead of going straight to the storage box, he went to the marker and then to the storage box. Now this is good for pathing. Let's say you got two bots, you're running two bots between resources and they keep running into each other, or for whatever reason you want to set up a patrol or something, or you just want for whatever reason you want him to take a different path than the normal game provides. That's what that's good for. Let's shut him back down. So that's the pickup, the go to marker. Next is going to be the go to and follow player. This could be good if there is a couple things you can do. As of this patch, you can put storage boxes on your bots, which you've got a large enough inventory, but if you want a bot carrying a storage box, you certainly could do that and tell him when you turn on, go to and follow the player. So you've got an extra mobile storage crate. It's fun to mess with. You could also, instead of that, let's shut you down. Let's say you want, if something goes wrong with one of your resource collectors, you can tell him, if something doesn't have power, go to and follow player, and when you reach the player, turn off. So, wasn't quick enough. So you see he'll get, I got an idea, we'll throw a button in the room. Sensors inputs button. We can say here, that way we can say come down here to the button, not set button color, event, on button push, turn on, go to and follow player, and then turn off. So now he'll come all the way over here, got to me, and so that'll be a good indication, hey, something's wrong. You can that you can have like a row of buttons for all your bots, and you can say, all right, come here, and bring them all to you so you can check their batteries. So that's another idea for it. But that's all it does, is it brings the bot to you, and then it can execute a command once it gets to you. The next one is drop carried item. This one is I think of it more as a failsafe if something's not right. So let's say you have it taking resources back and forth, but that one's empty. You can tell it cancel task and idle, or if it's dead, or if for whatever reason you need to drop a carried item. That's what those are for. Body color, or buddy bot color, is just that. You want to change the hat of the buddy bot. Oh, I didn't execute. So you can color code them for whatever you want to do. That's all the functions. These last ones are very similar. Most of these are self-explanatory. You just got to figure out how you want to use it. So we have 3 variables for the buddy bots. Is it on? So what color is it? And does it have power? So if you haven't seen before, you can link a buddy bot to a screen, and then on the screen we can set text. We'll do a little branch. And if you notice the colors of these boxes, that indicates where it can connect to. So green is text, red are variable or booleans, yellow is colors, there's bools or booleans, text, number, colors, percentages. So those are all the different types. So what you can do here is you can say, is it on? If we'll change this, duplicate. If true, if false, we'll say on, off. So now we run that, we'll see the text says, hey, BuddyBot's off. And let's turn him on, and you'll see, oh, we got to, so when we turn on, get out of the way. Now he says on. And where's my off? Turn them off, turn them off. So we can tell it like that. So anytime we turn them on or off, that'll say on. Actually, I'm liking that switch. Let me put that little switch back on here. On button push, turn on, turn off. We're going to do a little branch here. And this is a good example of using the if on or is on boolean. Link dot buddy bot, come down here, get variable, is he on? So when we push the button, we're going to check, is it on? If you see my last video, it's very similar. It's almost exactly like the lights. So is he on? If he is on, turn him off. If he's off, turn him on. So now we can, loop, and he's off, loop, he's on. See, it doesn't update the screen though. So what we need to do is we need to tell this, we're going to put a wait in here so we don't have we're going to do every 3 seconds, no matter which result. When you're done, check it again. And we're going to leave those on there so that every time it'll do that. So now we can, there you see, screen says it's on. Oh, it didn't update. Let me see what I did wrong. Oh, we didn't. No, that's right. Yeah, the switch works. Ah, we didn't. We got to call it through that. So what I mean is, so this program is turning the bot on and off, but there's nothing in here saying, well, if we just start running it, it'll keep going. Off, on. It takes 3 seconds because of the little wait. Off, on. So yeah, so that got it. So that's one of the things you can do with the set variables. Is it on? You can also do, instead of that, what color is it? Well, you got to compare. And what this would do is, or you can, if you get color of something else, you can tell it to set color to this, which that's in, yeah, set buddy bot color. So if you have, you link 2 buddy bots, you can set the colors to be the same that way. You're in my way. And then the other one is has power. So again, we can say has power, no power. And then we're going to start that. So now you see has power. And the only way for it to say no power is if both batteries run out. As soon as both batteries run out, once it comes back through that through the loop, through this loop, it'll say, hey, we have no power. So you could have that back at your base and have one linked up to each of your buddy bots, and if one dies somewhere, you'll get that. And I'll have another video on screens, but you can, on here, before you reloop it, you can come down here and set the color too. So like here, so now you can say, it'll say no power in red or whatever color you want it to be. So that's the variables for the buddy bot. Next is events. These are your triggers. So the first one is unreached destination. So whenever your buddy bot gets to a destination, what do you want it to do? And this will trigger a series of events. Again, I have examples of things I can show you. You could use this as a check, saying, hey, when you get to this event or to this item, let me pause and I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulties, but so the last 2 events are, you see, we're kind of in a different environment here, but the last 2 events were on item pickup. So when it picks up an item, what do you want to do with it? What kind of functions do you want to do after after you pick something up. Now you can, of course, if you have here pick up from here, you can, as you seen earlier, just say, hey, once you pick it up, go do this, or you can use this to trigger a whole new set of events. And then the last one is on carried item taken by player. So if it's holding something and you take it from its hands, which you can, what do you want it? How do you want it to respond? You can have it, turn off, or restart a loop, or whatever you want to, whatever you need it to do if you take the item from it. So with that, I want to show you some of the things I have going on here on this little. This is my kind of how I learned the game. This has a lot of everything. This is like day 29. But you see this little buddy bot here? This was something I seen. I'm going to give him another shout out. Vortac Vids. He put one of these on a bot with a laser tripwire and had it follow him around. So anytime one of these bots would come up near him, it would activate the laser sword and eventually attack and kill the attacking bot. But I decided I wanted to take that to a whole nother level. I figured, let's put 3 of them on here, and let's give him somewhere to go and something to do. So he's got batteries, he's got those 3, and I'll give you a quick look at the programming. He's linked to a button. Sorry for the whole mess of things here. That's my lights on one switch, but nothing actually here for the button. Everything's controlled on the bot, and you see he's linked to the 3 swords. So here's what we got. A little long. I'll try and get through this fairly quickly. So when we push the button on the wall, it's going to wait 1 second, and it's going to check, is the button still held down? Because if you just push the button once, at the same time it turns it on, it's going to immediately check, is it held down? So you want that little 1 second delay. You could even do half a second, but 1's fine. And it's going to check, did we hold down the button? If we did hold down the button, we're going to go to follow the player, as I showed you earlier. We're going to change his color to green, and then we're going to turn him off. I'll demonstrate that in a minute. If we didn't, we're going to turn him on, because this is saying if we push and hold, he should already be on. So we could add that down here too. Yeah, we could. Let's duplicate, come down here, and say there. So now, if I push and hold, he came over to me and shut himself off. But if we didn't hold it down, change him to red, he's going to go to a marker, and we're going to check what color is his hat. Not sure where he was going, but he didn't get there. So we're going to go to a marker, and on the way there we're going to check what color is his hat. So we're going to get the variable color. We're going to check, is it red? Right now it's green. So if it's red, we're going to do our little branch here. If it is red, because if they are equal, we're going to activate the first trap that's on him. He's going to wait 1.25 seconds. He's going to activate the next one, wait 1.2, and there, and then loop again. And you're thinking, what is this guy doing? And I'm going to show you. Off he goes. See, his hat's red. He's going to go right through the door and have a little steering difficulty because he has a hard time going through doors. Come on. It's the laser trap, or laser swords. So let's push it again. Sometimes that helps. There we go. See that I got a marker right there. So he's going to stand right there and continuously swing one laser sword every 1.25 seconds, which is just enough time for it to reset. And that's all he does. And then if I need to work on him, push and hold. You'll see he'll come right back eventually. Ow. And there you go. So now I can service him. So that's one of the things you can do with the bots. Another thing is I have here this guy. You see he's dead. He's linked to this sign. Everything's good. And then he's also linked to these out here. We got some visitors. We're going to stand right here. Hopefully he trips one of those wires. The laser tripwire. There we go. Let me go turn these off. So he's linked to everything over here. I got 2 water pumps, 2 conveyors, and I'll show you why. He doesn't need to be linked to the conveyors. I just never took them off. Again, looks pretty complicated. It's not. This is just checking. This is for the screen, everything up here. So I'm not going to get into that. That's just kind of like I showed you before. Does everything have batteries? Does everything have batteries? It's going to run through all that. As long as everything's good. I don't think that's actually in use. Nope. As long as everything's good, all good, it's green. If either one of them doesn't have everything it needs, it's going to say no power, turn it to red, and then recheck. So that's all for the screen. The other one, this is where this is for the BuddyBot itself. So we're going to check in the storage box. Let me get a little closer here. How many stored items do you have? If that number, I know that's in the way, but if that number, or it's going to check, is that number greater than 0? If it is, if A is greater than B, so is whatever's in there greater than 0, if it is, we're going to turn it on, turn on the BuddyBot. We're going to pick up from the storage box, which is the storage box over there. There he goes. Something just went in there. So he's going to go from, pick it up from there, put it over there, wait 1 second, and then it's going to check again. Is there still, is there something in here? Which there is. There's 2 water bottles. So, and that's all it does, is it goes over there. See, it waited 1 second and then it checked. Is there anything over there? Anything in the storage box? If it comes back, there is, it'll go over, pick it up, put it back. As soon as it detects that there's nothing in that box, by using that little comparison, the greater than comparison right here. So right now you can see there's 2 in there. Well, last time it checked because it grabbed 1. So now it just checked again. It says, hey, there's still 1. It's going to pick that up, come back. As soon as there's nothing left, that equals 0. It's going to trigger this false and it's going to say turn off. And then it's just going to sit here and loop back and forth until that becomes greater than 0. So that's one of them. And the third one I'm working on is down here, and I'm working on an automated oil refinery. And he's out of batteries and I haven't finished the program, but what you can see here is we're doing the same thing as that one over there. We're going to say how many are stored in that in my iron storage box, my steel ingot as long as it's greater than 2, we're going to pick up from storage box, place item, and drop off point right here. And then this is going to count how many it picks up. As soon as it places 2 in there, it's going to turn off the buddy bot, and it's going to turn on the auto crafter to produce empty barrels. Those empty barrels get pushed out here, and as soon as this produces an item, it's going to turn this on, which will produce oil, which I'm going to have another bot picking it up and going and bringing it to my base. So that's it for buddy bots. They are very, very versatile, very useful, very useful. And he likes to get stuck in that corner. Push the button again and he'll replot his path, because those laser swords make him really bulky. But there you go, guys. That's buddy bots. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll probably take a video on this little, kind of give you a tour of this. But next video we'll be looking at screens, doors, or resource gatherers. I wanted to throw this in there because it kind of ties in with the next videos I'm going to be doing, because I'll be using buddy bots a lot for those. But let me know what you guys think. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.